Welcome back. He's cute, he's cuddly, and appears to be squeezing moviegoers at the box office. Movie reviewer Matt Barone explains if this sequel is one you can embrace or if Ted is stuffing people full of disappointment.
Another Monday is upon us, and with it, the end to another weekend at the box office. I'd already reviewed number 1 and 2, so it was on to number 3. All right, I act like it was something I was forced to see, but in all honesty, I was going to review this comedy sequel the whole time. So, here's my take on another go-around of a man and his teddy bear, Ted 2. Our movie begins with Ted, voiced by Seth MacFarlane, marrying Tammy Lynn, his girlfriend from the first film. Mark Wahlberg reprises his role of John Bennett, Ted's best friend, who we find out is recently divorced from his wife. The marriage and reception are a fun and blissful event, but fast forward a year later and the couple are having problems. In order to save their marriage, Ted decides that he and Tammy Lynn should have a child. Awkward situations arise as they attempt to find a paternal donor until it is determined that conception is not in the cards anyway. Applying for adoption raises red flags with the government when they decide that Ted is not an actual human being. As a result, all of Ted's accounts are canceled and his marriage is even annulled under the eyes of the law, being that he is now considered property. With help from John and a young, inexperienced lawyer played by Amanda Seyfried, they set out to sue for Ted's civil rights. What ensues is a trial unlike any you've experienced before. Questions arise about what makes a human, and help may even have to be found from afar. As we continue, we are treated to a seemingly never-ending parade of hilarious and sometimes awkward scenarios that the best friends must navigate in what can only be called a less than graceful manner. As the movie progresses, we see cameo after cameo, along with a large group of callbacks from the first film. You find yourself wondering if anything will ever go right for these two, but you can't help but hope for more obstacles because laughing at their pain and bumbling becomes a guilty pleasure. Rest assured, though, that the entertainment doesn't let up from beginning to ending credits. So, this was one of those movies that I was very excited to see, but at the same time, I was just a little wary, you know, because of the tendency for movie comedy sequels to just be a giant letdown. Happy to report that is not the case here. This movie delivered so much more than I expected. I think what made the first one so funny was just that it was Seth MacFarlane's first big screen movie and the shock value of the different things that came out of the teddy bear's mouth. Well, with this one, the shock value was past and it had to be replaced with sharp wit. Don't get me wrong, the movie is still pretty vulgar with scenes that at times are just pretty uncomfortable to watch. But the humor is so much smarter in this one. In fact, not only is the humor so much smarter, but I was ecstatic with the fact that throughout the entire movie, there were just subtle movie references just interspaced throughout it. So many, in fact, that I'm pretty sure not everybody is able to pick them all up the first time. Mark Wahlberg is once again fantastic, and the back-and-forth dialogue between the two is just outstanding. Listen, if you like the first one, you can put your fears away because the second one will definitely not disappoint you. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
I got hurt in a car wreck and it's just too much.